All right, part two to our nutrient dense foods, foodways from esoteric nutrition, understanding a deeper level. But this is all coming from a book called The Mysteries of Nutrition, Life Changing Ideas to Heal the Body. So, which can be found on Amazon or in book form on the website, theheartoftradition.com. Audiobook, which is right now, it's available for free. So hurry up and grab it if you need it. Where were we at when we left off? Okay, next bullet point. A small fresh glass of homemade organic carrot juice plus 2 dollops of whipped creme fraiche for the skin tone, color, and lungs, or coconut cream without additives or emulsifiers. Just remember that plant-based cream without retinol may steal retinol from the liver, causing nausea or indigestion in some. You may also use Devon double cream, which has been mixed with a beaten egg, maple syrup, then mixed with carrot juice and frozen for creamsicles, which are thyroid neutral, or blueberries or any other kind of. But make orange vitamin butter. This is amazing stuff, this orange vitamin butter. By smashing salmon eggs into some clotted or whipped Devon cream, unheated honey, gently melted block of butter, Frontier brewer's yeast, optional, and let reharden in the refrigerator. So this creates like this orange butter. It's amazing. And then after you can just kind of, because you run it through like a little food processor. That's what I do. And then the butter becomes orange, and then it rehardens in the fridge, and then you use this on bread, and it's amazing. So we're just trying to recreate these high vitamin foods. I mean, butter used to have that high vitamin feature, and now we have to recreate it to get there. So this would happen naturally in nature, like the mid-spring butter or midsummer or whatever. There'd be more orange color to it, and so this was in traditional societies. We don't really have these societies anymore, and the way we do everything, and the races, and so much stuff is different. So we got to create this stuff now, which you can. So homemade lacto-fermented thick beet juice for the blood. Which you have to do yourself and let it thicken if you're really, especially vegetarian, because this is a huge blood tonic, and they don't have that many blood tonics if you're vegan or whatever, so this can help with that. Mixed with whipped thyroid neutral Devon cream, Devon from the UK. This you can pretty much find almost everywhere now. I mean, in Whole Foods, and there's certain, so this is the best cream. This is cream I use for everything. Some people use mascarpone, but I don't like the way they use some acid to make it stable. There's something going on there. So Devon cream is the best. As well as Eastern borscht beetroot broth soup, cold or hot. And even broth can be drunken cold. You can drink broth cold, because it really does wonders for the throat. I mean, I don't understand how broth is so powerful. It just gives you your energy back. I took a 3-day road trip, and all I had was broth because I had to empty out my fridge to make the move, and all I was drinking was broth. I mean, I'd stop for food, or not food. I guess I had like cold cut kind of stuff there, but and I just drank that broth, and every time I would get tired, about to fall out and sleep, it would just wake me up. I'd get another hour or two, which is amazing. Nothing else was able to do that. That's better than coffee. So trade your coffee for broth, and you'll be on the right tip. But you got to make it yourself, and you got to spend about $50 on your broth at least to make a good broth for the month. You freeze it and everything else, and you strain it, but like you need to spend at least $50. And in America, it's hard to find good broth. So typically go to like a Persian shop or Asian or some other type of market where you can find whether maybe a frozen foods market, or I don't know, but where you can find lamb's feet and lamb parts from New Zealand. Usually there's people you can find that with Middle Eastern or other type of places, and use those feet and use those lamb parts and shanks and whatever, and create your broth. That's probably the safest way to do it in the American system. I mean, there's other ways, veal foot from the Chinese market, and chicken feet. There's a lot of other different things you can do, but stewing hens from unsoy-fed farms that you order online, that's good too. And then all the products from those type of farms that are soy-free, corn-free, whatever, those are amazing too. But depending on your needs, you can adapt. So 2 soup spoons per day of raw local honey or equivalent, unheated, cold packed, or really raw honeys at the end of the meal. Compact honey will retain enzyme activity longer. If it's been heated, it doesn't matter if it's compact or not. But if they are both raw, then the compact honey will retain enzyme activity longer. Don't buy huge jars, get smaller jars. So it doesn't die, the enzymes don't die out. The enzymes are not like normal enzymes. They're actually like, the bee secretes this saliva that's like glucose. It's like a insulin, like a bee form of insulin, which breaks down the sugar for them. And we actually eat that insulin if it's been kept alive, that enzyme. And so that insulin allows for the sugar the honey to come in without spiking the blood sugar and having more of a healthy kind of sweetener. And most, non-raw, like really raw type of honeys, cold packed and like, really, you have tons of promises on the container. It's all written because they're paying for each step and they know how expensive it is to skip steps, so they're always putting it on there. And those are going to have the right enzyme. So a small finger of butter plus unheated honey to replace dessert at meals and facilitate digestion. Don't eat dirt, please. Some kids do because they're mineral deficient, and most people on the planet eat clay, so I think we kind of lost track of that. So anyway, that's a little side note. But raw whole Jersey milk to make creamy curds and whey, or homemade custard, unless milk interferes with your thyroid, no matter how it is prepared. You can find good milk in a lot of parts of the country, raw Jersey, raw sheep milk, stuff like that. But if the iodine is weak in the milk, like an iodine weak area, like for example California, you can reinforce the honey with vanilla extract. Spend money though, like a $20 little small bottle, and then you can put that in, like in the milk, and that will help reinforce the iodine capacity of the milk or level of the milk. So 2 to 3 teaspoons per day of Frontier's Brewery's yeast, not the organic one. Once again, they started changing something, and the organic one is not the good one. So it's really salty, and so anyway. I bought this other one called Half Bro Trunk. Nobody knows what that is here, but it's a lacto-fermented vinegar drink made from bread. It's alcohol-free. It's kind of like kombucha and vinegar combined. It's like a half and half. And then they mix that with like sparkling water or something, which is bought in glass, and raw honey. It's used as a pre-digestive for vitality. So according to your needs, replace some water with diluted broth, diluted soups, whey, fermented drinks, vegetables rich in water content, homemade glyphosate-free oat milk water. Avoid plastic boxes. Search oats online. Bullet point: consume heirloom vegetables, baby vegetables, rustic salads, and root vegetables. The smaller the vegetable, the better, as far as taste goes. But they can be more expensive too. So, farmers markets, things like that. Try to get stuff that's coming from the soil around you if the soil's healthy, and for certain types of foods. Like here in California, there's amazing strawberries and dates, and there's certain things that are just amazing. So jump on that. So homemade coconut water kefir. Coconut water without kefir fermentation can trigger insulin spiking in many. I like to mix young coconut meat with the coconut water, thereby creating a semi-colloidal milk which slows down the sugars in the coconut water and is a libido enhancer, along with lobster, tamale, octopus, oysters, foie gras, fish eggs smashed with cream, raw soy-free eggs, and quality tribulus. Kombucha. Try to find the brands that have the most herbal or medicinal taste with less sugar. This is almost impossible in America. None of these exist. So it's more of a European thing. If you're avoiding alcohol, then find a more sugary brand of kombucha or make them yourself. Refrain from kombucha if going through an acid state. If you have become sensitive to even the water used in commercial drinks, then just drink glass bottle water with some unheated honey in the mouth to remineralize the water, and maybe some ginger. There's a couple brands that use a high ginger amount in their kombucha, and it kind of offsets some of the negative effects of sugar, but not really. So it's kind of better, but So there's like some minerals coming in, sugar is anti-mineral or whatever, and so this, it kind of balances a little bit, but it has to be strong ginger, So hot packs using castor oil, organic castor oil over the liver, which is free of hexane, for detoxification, the chest for the flu, or wherever there is pain for 1 to 6 days per month according to your needs. I use that sometimes when I get sick. I did last night on the bath, and I hate taking baths in American water, even with like the magnesium pellets or whatever it is, flakes and salt and all that stuff that you can make the water better, but it's still just shitty water, and I don't trust it. And so I take showers, short showers, cold showers, but you know, sometimes I'll take a bath when I need the heat, and I'll just kind of dip my body in that heat and just really get all that heat and do like a little castor massage, and then lay down on the floor once I can't take the bath anymore, and just use all that heat to help push out some disease. But anyway, so transdermal magnesium, daily and progressive cure of 6 months using certified Zexine magnesium oil in glass bottles. Boom, here it is right here from theheartoftradition.com. And then use gemotherapy, a form of European herbal therapy which uses the buds of plants in small dilutions and therefore a remarkably sustainable practice, much more effective than other types of plant and tincture-based therapies due to the rich source of plant hormones found in the buds. Many systemic problems of detoxification and drainage from target sites are addressed. Use an EMF, just to mention, like my girlfriend, I recently bought her one of these from, it's a raspberry bud tincture, but it's not a tincture. You see, these gemmos are different. They're a tincture from the bud, and so it's mixed with like a coconut glycerin, and you know, which is a high quality glycerin, and then in a sort of alcohol, and so those put together creates this really powerful extraction of all parts, the fat and the hydrosoluble. So and it's much more potent because it has the hormones. The hormones are in the bud. That's where they're concentrated. It's the only part of the plant that never gets diseased. So check those out. Her herbal gem is amazing for a lot of things. So you have to order online. It's like $60 a pop, but they last for 2.5 months. So use an EMF protected bed canopy, shield and shield any smart meters, or install reflective wallpaper or EMF protection material between you and these meters. Wear EMF reduction clothing, especially undergarments year-round, but also while pregnant. And then I would add to this, also look up on antennasearch.com to make sure there's no antennas within 0.28 miles of you. If there is, of your address, then you'll need to maybe do some further treatment on your apartment, or you know, covering the walls that are hit by the angle of where that tower is placed. So that might need to be looked into, and you know, especially if you're like 0.1 mile from one of them, you're definitely in trouble. Like you either have to move down to the